And welcome back to the Gadget Spot.
Hey, everybody.
Hey!
Woo!
It feels so good to be back and alive.
Doesn't
I have
it?
a thirst for life.
2 weeks later, I just clapped my hand and it really stings.
Yeah.
Does it sting or does it feel like tingly? Because I mean, there's
Both.
that fine line between pain and pleasure.
Both.
That's what happens when you don't work a day in your life.
Oh,
What's that supposed to mean?
Hey.
you love your job.
I worked all day today.
Yeah.
A physical labor. You know,
I was
like
a house framer. Have you ever been a house
moving.
framer?
No.
Okay.
You framed a house today?
Not today.
I did.
Back in the day.
I did
That's
yesterday.
amazing.
You literally framed a house
Well,
yesterday?
I framed 2 walls.
His house.
My own house.
Nice.
Yeah.
This guy.
Owen? What did you
Frame
frame it for? Bring it in for a low five.
No.
Murder!
No.
Most foul.
No.
Introduce yourself, house framer.
Hey. Oh, we're going to skip right over. Okay. My name's Owen. I don't have my headphones on today because, well, we've got some hardware discrepancies and it's throwing me off. So,
It's okay.
Nice usage of the word discrepancy.
yeah, you're welcome. That's, thank you for
It's
that.
just a normal word, James.
What?
You playing any games?
No, you can follow me on Twitter at TechNoan. I have not been playing games. It's been full on get the basement repaired from the tragedy in December.
Understandable.
The catastrophe. It's not a tragedy. It's a catastrophe in December where we had flooding. So it's been a full on sprint. Taking time off of work just to stay home and work for 8 hours or
That
more.
sucks.
It's really not great. Can you imagine taking 3 days off and not playing a single video game?
I can.
You have unlimited PTO. Don't give me that.
I know. I do. I could have taken
But
more.
I didn't think you played very many video games.
I don't have time. I always have something else to do.
It was as an excuse.
I always have
But
a...
you gotta admit though, like
Oh, I have
working with
kids.
your hands,
Oh, yeah.
getting stuff done. At the end of the day, you can like look back.
Yeah.
Affecting where you live.
I'm fixing my office so that I don't have to work from my kitchen table anymore. So,
I hung a picture.
Did you have to put the nail in by yourself?
I did.
Did
I
you use
used
a
a
command
hammer.
strip?
I thought there was some sort of person you hired for the nail.
I like to nail things.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Nailed it.
I get it.
There you go.
Uh,
Jarron, introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Jarron. You can find me on Twitter at Jarron. And it feels like I've played something. Metro. Yeah, that's it. I made it past the desert.
which
Nice.
Metro?
Metro Exodus. Yeah. And that's it. It's been a light 2 weeks for me. It's been busy. Life has been busy.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
That's good, I guess.
That's it. That's all I got.
James.
Ooh, hey,
Hey.
what's up?
Not much.
Nice.
We're just recording a podcast.
Oh yeah.
What
So
are you
what's
doing?
up, guys? My name's James. I'm gonna turn my audio down just a smidge, just in case. I'd rather have it come in at too low than too high. I have been deep within the hole of
Whoa.
RimWorld
Oh.
lately.
That still sounds weird.
Yeah. I think I put probably a good. I'm going to turn myself down a little bit more. So sorry, Tony, when you got to go back and redo this.
Stop talking about it and just do it.
I'm going to turn it down some more so you can't hear it. No, I think I'm almost 150 hours into that game.
Ooh, wow.
And that should tell you something. I've been staying up till like 2 in the morning. It's the perfect game for me.
Sounds like you're addicted.
Oh, yeah. It's gotten to the point where I deleted it so I would stop playing it. And then
Secretly
I
added back in.
re-downloaded it
Yeah.
and then had a little panic attack because it didn't save all the mods.
No!
So just in case I screen capped the mods. So if anybody wants to know, I got them
Nice.
saved.
Oh, speaking of mods, I remember what I did in the last 2 weeks.
What's that?
I tried to mod Jedi Knight, Dark Forces 2.
Took you 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, it did. They have this Ultra HD texture pack, which they used AI to upscale the really blurry textures.
Yeah.
And I tried to mod it, found out that this particular mod struggles with 4K resolutions. But
Oh.
I'm working with the...
Is that
Developer-
how you're supposed to say it?
Did you really
Resolutions?
contact the developer?
Yeah, I contacted the developer on
Look at
GitHub,
this guy.
telling him about my issues, because it's an alpha right now, so obviously
Yeah.
there's going to be problems.
Did you
that's
ask
true.
if George was there? Lucas?
What are you talking about? Anyway, I get it. Star Wars.
Yeah,
okay.
Star Wars.
Anyway, it looks awesome. It completely redoes the game. The only problem is I'm running at like 26 frames per second.
Whoa.
But it looks amazing. So they put in new character models, so it's not a square on top of another square.
Oh, that's cool.
For-
How's the
Kyle
aspect
Katarn.
ratio? Is it still 3x4?
No, it's widescreen.
Really?
Yeah, and the textures are pretty sharp. They redid the lighting effects. There's
So the actual developer did that? It wasn't a community thing?
it's a community thing. They added ambient occlusion. It looks pretty cool.
Nice.
I'm actually going to go see if Jedi Knight has it.
Probably not.
But here's the thing. I rewatched that Half-Life documentary.
Oh, yeah.
The
I still
one
want
that
to
I
watch
was
that for
telling
the
you guys
first
about.
time.
I'll actually drop that in the show notes once I get done with
You know,
this.
I tried to watch half of that. The first half was pretty good, and then he
Yeah,
went on the spiritual journey to Arizona.
He goes to
and-
actually see what a mesa looks like.
and
see
it
if
went
he can help
on and
connect with
on,
it.
so I just stopped watching.
Yeah, it gets a little rough, but
Does it get better
just
after
limp
that?
it out. Yeah, it starts talking about a studio that's actually taking it upon themselves to finish it.
To finish what?
Half-Life.
Black Mesa or Half-Life 3?
Half-Life Episode 3.
Oh,
Interesting.
well, that's not
So-
going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, they talk about it's really interesting about how Half-Life, how games have a feel and a tone to them, and how like one of the examples that they gave is when they're making Episode 3. In Episode 2, Gordon holds a pistol with one hand, and if you've ever held a pistol, you hold it with two hands. And they said when they were doing the art with it, they kind of released some shots, and in it they showed the two-handed pistol, and the community pushed back. They're like, "That's not how Gordon holds a gun.
He holds it with one
hand."
hand.
So they did that. They're like, we're making the third episode, not Half-Life 3.
Oh, Half-Life
Because
2,
you know that big
Episode
jump
3.
between
Yeah.
Half-Life and Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
So that being said, I re-downloaded all of the Half-Lifes on my laptop.
Great
And so
games.
hopefully
Games are
I'll
awesome.
use that as like some kind of like morphine drip to get myself off of RimWorld.
Mm.
Because even right now, as we're recording, I want to open up RimWorld.
Just
so
do
bad.
it. I mean,
Okie
No,
dokie.
don't do it.
if
Don't
your
do
brain
it.
wants to do it,
That was
it must be good for you.
He was
Punch you on the
just
liver.
do it right in the kidneys.
Ah!
We have a super special guest today. It's Cousin Rob.
Cousin Rob. Hi, guys.
Or just Rob.
Or Rob, that works too. Yeah.
Have we met before, Rob?
I don't think we've met, but it's weird for me being here because I've been listening since day one, so I feel like I know you guys.
Yeah.
You've
We're
never
the
met me
first-
before.
yes, I know.
Yeah,
It's the
so
blip.
I'm basically proof that nepotism's alive and well.
See?
Woo! Spots.
Right
I'm
here.
related to half the guys here. I'm really excited to be here.
Has anybody ever told
Nice.
you that you have the like second best smile in this room?
We're gonna let you
No,
guess on
but
which
I
half
will
they're
take
related
that.
to.
That is great.
Your
Yeah.
smile's better.
Who's number one? Yeah.
No, it's Tony.
What?
Of course.
Yeah, it's hard to make him smile.
I'm frowning.
No, his beard hides his dimples.
Yeah,
That's why it's so good.
yeah. It's like a hidden
Secret weapon.
Yeah, it's like the secret of Nim, but without all like the
Under
the
beard hair
incest
instead of
and all that
okay,
stuff.
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Do you have a Twitter you want to pimp?
Sure. I have like 12 followers and 11 of them are bots, but
Nice.
yeah, you can
Hey,
follow
you're
me
getting
at
there.
Rob Pixton on
Let's see if
Twitter. Yeah.
we might double that to two.
Maybe.
To two,
I'll
to
take
two
You got
real
so many more
people.
followers than I do, dude.
I'm gonna do that right now.
At Rob Pixton. All right. And have you been playing any games lately?
Not a lot. Yeah, I have 2 kids, so it's kind of hard to play. But when I do play, it's usually on my phone. So,
What phone games do you like?
so the ones I got recently are Alto's Odyssey.
Oh, I like that one. The
It's-
skiing
Yeah,
one, right?
it's
Yeah.
really cool. It's even better on an iPad. So I have it on my iPad Pro.
Do you play it right before you go to bed? Does it
I
help
do.
lull you to
Yeah,
sleep?
the music is like really like relaxing.
Yeah, I have
And-
Alto's Adventure on Apple TV, and yeah, the music's good.
Yeah, if you just put in some headphones, you can just kind of play and relax, and it's a really cool game.
Drowse off and then drop
Nice.
your iPad Pro. It's great.
That's the thing with these iPad Pros, the 12.9s. If you like are holding it while you lay down and you fall asleep and it falls on your face, it hurts.
I've done that before.
It's huge.
Yep.
No, what you need to do is you need to go on to Amazon and you get one of those like neck things that attach to your the backboard of your bed.
Oh yeah, I've
Oh,
seen
I think I
those.
have seen
Dude,
those.
I've done that. I hook my Switch into it, so I get to lay down on my back with it like this, and I look straight up.
So you have
I feel
your
like I'm in 2019.
you have your controllers one in each hand at the side while you stare up at
My
your
wife has walked in the room with my mouth agape.
Maximum laziness right
Yeah,
there.
I don't care.
You know what?
Sometimes the bugs crawl
The
in. and I
future
get a
is
snack.
now.
I
Yeah.
applaud you.
If I don't end up in a Wall-E universe, that's what I aspire to, man.
Wow.
I don't know why I did aspire.
Yeah, of all the dystopias, I think that Wall-E's the best one.
Well, it's definitely the most attainable.
Yeah.
We're headed, right?
If you take the space element out of it.
No, you're all wrong. The most attainable and one we're headed for is Idiocracy. If
Oh,
you've
that's
ever
my
seen the
favorite.
movie
Oh, man.
Idiocracy,
I watched that about 6 months ago. It was
It
a
was
great
ahead
show.
of its time.
It was ahead of its time. We were there.
Yep,
It's what the plants crave.
we're getting there. Electrolytes. What plants crave.
What plants crave.
I'm just excited to head towards the happening.
Ooh. All right, and I'm your host, Tony. Follow me on Twitter if you want, at QuadTTony, or every other week on the Gadget Spot, or every week on the Geek Show podcast. All right, we have some interesting stuff to talk about this week. We're going to start off with some really bad, sad news.
Our Patreon subscribers.
Yes.
I was waiting for a second to interject that myself.
I had to scroll my screen up. I was past Patreon and email already.
You were already digging right in.
Yep. All right. We're going to start off with the best news ever. Our Patreon subscribers.
Yeah, Patreon is a chance for you, listener, to give us a tip if you like us. Pretend like you're at a restaurant and we serve you so well. Give us a tip.
Sometimes we give you stuff.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
We need to do it like
Mostly just earaches.
we need to do like a costume party.
We need to do another video. I need to blow something else up.
You
or
need
break
Oh,
something.
I've actually
drop
been-
the files.
I
I've
know.
been waiting for you guys.
I know. I'm lazy.
I've been collecting things to explode with guns.
We need to explode
tech
some
stuff,
stuff.
so
yeah.
we'll get there.
Well, I was gonna say, ever since
This
you
summer.
showed me how to use Duet between my iPad Pro and my laptop, I just use that to edit on my couch.
Nice.
Maximum laziness.
So if you want to have your name read aloud here on the show, donate $6 or above, or if you just want to donate at all, go to patreon.com/gadgetspot.
Or to our website.
And or if you just want to review us on iTunes, that'd be awesome too. Anyway, huge shout out and thank you to AJ Jasper, David Broshinsky, Aaron Young, Josh Sidaway. Did I say? Oh yeah. Agree with James. Outlet camera is no good.
Oh,
Wait.
no dice on the outlet camera.
Oh yeah, who did that? Who said
AKA
that? Oh, yeah.
Connor Ritchie. Peter Santone. Hardware. Adam Hecht, Ryan Baker, Aaron Faulkner. Sekiro is much harder than Bloodborne and Dark Souls, which is Joe Reedy. Adam Foote, Spencer Knowlton, Ramon or Valentine. I can make Jarron say anything for $6.
Yeah.
Ryan McQueen, Michael Beck, Jeffrey Kale, Roger Allen, Brian Lee, Conrad Southworth, and Austin Beauregard.
Beauregard.
There it
You know
is.
what? The funny thing is me and Austin
There
have
it
given
is.
up all of our business opportunities, and now we're just gonna
Here we go.
Be friends?
start a website to sell stuff.
Crazy tangential
What stuff?
nonsense.
Mouse pads.
So,
Okay.
FYI,
Decorative.
Oh, awesome.
James was looking at me like an expectant puppy.
He was so ready.
Oh,
yeah.
He was on point.
It's the one thing that gets me excited in the morning.
And you only get to do it every 2 weeks.
in the morning, like right when you wake up.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Pop out. Beauregard. That's what I said.
You pop out what?
What?
Jump out. Yep.
What?
We're going to leave that alone, and we're going to move on to email. Thank you so much, Patreon backers.
And Beauregard.
All right, we got a couple of emails. Owen?
Yeah, we do. Let me.
Let's have one, Owen.
I got one.
Oh yeah, go for it while I pull that up.
Oh,
All
my.
right, we got one from Lang.
Hey, Lang.
Here's another one for you. There have been a handful of video games that have crossed genres. As an example, Mario went from adventure style to puzzle with Dr. Mario. How about Mortal Kombat Fighter to the Shaolin Monk's Adventure? Now to the point. What franchise would you love to see jump genres? My personal hope would be an Overwatch or even Blizzard Entertainment Fighter style game. Tony, keep gingering. Jarron, keep keeping the floor white. Thank you. James, keep creating. And Owen, keep up the powder. What does that mean? Lame.
Remember the
Come
powder that he used to
on.
put on his
undercarriage.
undercarriage?
The undercarriage powder.
Because sometimes
LeBron.
when you get
LeBron
The
style.
LeBron style.
sometimes when you get
adopted
the
that.
peanut butter and the shag rug carpet,
Sometimes you just got to powder up.
you just gotta powder.
That
So-
the biobidets really changed that for me. So
Oh, that's good. That's nice.
Anyway.
You know, moving up in life.
Is it still accurate?
totally on point.
Games that I would like to see switch genres.
Switch genres
Let's
or
see.
any
or
franchise?
move into a different genre. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's hard.
I've been wanting to see Ogre Battle come back, and I will literally take that on any system. Ogre Battle 64.
Yeah, I
Anybody?
remember that.
Anybody?
I
Just me?
remember. I never played it, but I remember it.
What else?
Yeah, I'm
I
drawing
need to
blanks here.
I am
digest
too.
that.
The biggest one that I've ever seen usually is stuff like a game to a puzzle game, like Dr. Mario. There was Super Street Fighter Turbo puzzle whatever. There was a Street
or
Fighter
games
puzzle.
adopting RPG elements.
Yeah, that's the biggest one that's not like a full-on crossover. Usually, is RPG elements in first-person shooters. They even have RPG elements in some car games now. The way you can upgrade and mod your car.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that's tough. I feel like I feel kind of like it's all been done. You know what I mean?
I've enjoyed the Mario Rabbids game.
I would
Oddly
like
enough,
I would like Uncharted to become like a dating sim. But that's just me.
Not surprising in the least.
I don't know. I haven't played enough of those games to know what genre would they could bump to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know what would be interesting to see is, and they could never do it, but a Mario first person like game.
Oh,
they've done
that'd
like
be kinda cool.
mock-ups with those, but
If you could have like Mario, what was the last one they just came out with? Odyssey in first person. That'd be interesting. It'd make the platforming really hard.
Somebody just
Yeah.
modded Zelda to be first person. Breath of the Wild.
See, Zelda could work in first person though, because there's a lot of combat and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
less
I
platforming.
mean, you go first person when you shoot
But
stuff.
third person to
Yeah.
first person, that doesn't really feel like a genre switch to me.
That's true.
I don't know. When they made Grand Theft Auto 5, they released the first person point of view when they put it on PC.
That was a huge change.
That was crazy.
It felt like a different game actually at that point.
If
That's a
anything,
good point.
If anything, I would like to see some RPGs to be more first-person linear style,
I want to see like
so they're faster to play.
Yeah.
I went
that'd be
into
awesome.
Dragon Quest, Dragon Age,
Dragon Age,
Inquisition. I went into that thinking that was more of a God of War
Yeah. Oh no,
game when it's more like a Baldur's Gate type game.
exactly.
I'd actually like to see, and this doesn't super apply, but I'd like to see them take something like the battle room from Ender's Game and turn that into a turn-based RPG. I'd really like to see that.
So you want them to take something cool and make it sucky?
Why are you the way you are? Honestly,
who
every
hurt
time
Actually, turn-based RPG
I
is
do
only.
something fun, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose.
Thanks,
to be.
thanks, Michael Scott. The
I got it
turn-based
all off.
turn-based RPG is only the second worst type of gameplay, if you ask me.
What's the first word?
The ultimate worst gameplay, and this is my opinion, is strategy turn-based. No, strategy turn-based, like
No.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
I love that game.
Terrible.
I love that game. Oh, that was such a good game.
No way.
I
I
found the disc for that recently in my bin of forgotten
Garbage.
things.
And you
No,
looked at it and
it's
did
not
nothing with it,
Yeah.
huh?
It's hoardered. It's my hoarder bin. Don't
somebody
hate
do
on it.
something to you when you were playing
Who hurt-
chess one
yeah,
time?
who hurt
or
you,
something?
Tony?
I like chess.
That's a turn-based strategy RPG.
No, it's not. You
Yeah,
don't level
name
anything
your
up.
characters. You give them all attributes.
You don't do any of that in chess.
No, that's
what
pretty
kind of
good.
chess are you playing?
What kind of chess are you playing?
It's fairly close. You have to give James credit. That was fairly close for a good connection.
It was. You know what? As
Yeah,
far
James,
as
close.
Finger gun.
as
As far
far
as
as
James go,
yes.
that's right on.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
James.
Yeah.
You did pretty good for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Oh, I love that game. I can't believe you mentioned that because I just barely found that disc as I was ripping apart my basement to get ready
Chess?
to build.
No.
No,
Oh.
it's Final Fantasy Tactics. I can't
I
believe you don't like that. I mean, it didn't play anymore. I did try.
I tried
got
to
out.
play that on PlayStation 2. I had friends that were way into it, and I even went as far as back then they didn't have the greatest hits version of it. I had to find an original copy, and those
Yeah.
were rare
Yeah.
back in the day. I think it cost me like the game itself came out on PlayStation 1, and I was trying to play it on PS2, and I think that disc cost me like $50.
Yeah, you did probably just weren't very good at it.
Well, I know I wasn't good at it. It sucked.
Hey,
It wasn't particularly good. I'm a pretty big Final Fantasy fan. I played most of them, but I could not get through that one.
See, high five right there.
Square Enix didn't do it for you that time.
No.
Ah,
No.
I did like that one.
All right, we have another email.
yep.
Yeah, this one's from Benjamin,
Button.
and he's talking about the X-Mate. Or Mate X.
Oh, yeah.
Mate X e-bike. So he says, I forget which panelist did the Kickstarter. That'd be Tony.
And Jaron.
And
And
you
Jarron.
guys got 3 of them.
But how'd it
between
go?
the 2 of you, right?
He says, I've been
Yeah.
considering an e-bike for fitness. Cardio is cardio. Besides them, the local retailers have comparable offerings, though the foldability of the Mate X looks interesting. How's that going? He says, or has it yet to ship? He's asking if you've got
Yeah,
it
do
yet.
you have it yet?
No.
And then, he says, not that I actually have room in the budget for something like this, but
He got
So
an e-bike for
he's
exercise?
thinking. Yeah, he's thinking about it.
That's the opposite.
He's looking
No,
at.
it's pedal assisted.
Yeah, wait a second.
He said he put in there specifically cardio is cardio.
It's pedal
Don't
assisted.
hate.
Oh.
you
okay.
still burn calories.
I got my boosted for exercise too, so.
Yeah, that has no
Yeah.
pedal assist or even kick assist.
You can kick it.
You
I've done it
can.
many times on the way
You
home. The
gotta have-
battery dies.
You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta have core to ride those things, right?
Yeah, I have a core.
Robert's a
Core.
boosted board.
Yeah,
rider, too.
Hey!
it's my
which one do
primary.
you have?
I have the version 2. The like, I forget. It's the
Is it like
Dual,
the
I
full
think?
size
It's not
one,
the Dual
or
Plus.
is it the?
It's just the Dual.
Nice.
Yeah, it's my primary mode of transportation. I use it. I like 1,200 miles.
Where do you live?
California.
What's your address?
Don't say it.
I'm not gonna
Dang it.
say that.
Yes.
So no Mate
Not-
X yet.
No shipping. We finally got a shipping window though, and it's supposed to ship sometime between the end of June and
December.
July. Shut up.
Now,
I have faith.
now,
We're gonna get him in July. I know it.
now
It's gonna
this
be August or
this
September.
isn't because you guys got the extra painted fancy model.
No.
right?
This they
is
just
for all orders.
Yeah, they are shipping a lot slower than they thought they were going to, but
Some orders have shipped.
some orders have shipped, and the reason it's slower is because they've upgraded quite a few parts along the way
Oh.
and had to change some assembly line things to
Maybe
make
you'll
it
get
better.
some
and
good,
stuff.
maybe you'll get something better.
Yeah,
Safer.
I'm of the opinion that if it takes longer but it's a better product, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I agree with that with things that are indoors, but when you live in a place that outdoors, you can't go outdoors 6 months at a time.
This is true in Utah, northern Utah.
You're
but, you
you're
know,
losing your usability window.
what are you
I
gonna do?
know.
Yeah, we likely wasted our money.
Speaking of which,
Shut up, Jarron.
Are we gonna go and do like a recap on where our Kickstarters that we all invested in?
Sure, let's do it.
Oh,
Mine's delayed. I don't know when it's shipping.
dude,
Done.
I have no idea where mine is. Everybody's
Mine's
like,
fantastic.
and
You
maybe
already
we should
got
do a
yours,
recap.
yeah.
I
What
have
did-
heavily
What
used
did,
mine.
what did we all get?
Heavily.
I got that new wallet with the GPS tracker and stuff in it.
You got
Wait,
that,
what?
You got the
Yeah.
helmet.
I got the helmet that folds up into a tube.
Have you got that yet?
No.
Oh.
so
It got delayed, you said?
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's actually vaporware. There's no way they can make it. It's not real.
Seriously, there hasn't been an update in months. I'm starting to worry.
See, I've actually got updates for my wallet with the GPS card in it and stuff, and I think mine actually ships in the next couple weeks.
They asked me to measure my head, and I did, and I picked a color, but that was months ago. Who knows what happened after
You're
that.
like,
Now, question:
this
yours
is
is it
fake.
like a necklace that you wear?
It's a hat.
It's a hat.
It's a helmet that
Helmet
looks like
hat.
a tweed cap. As strong as a helmet, but with the look of a tweed cap.
space age helmet.
It's
Is there
BS.
a strap around your chin?
Yes.
Aren't
how's
you
it stay
afraid that
on?
when it inflates, that it's gonna like
It
kick
doesn't
back and
inflate.
It's not an inflatable one.
like
it's just
chokes
a
you?
it's just a redesign of
I
a
thought
helmet.
I thought it inflated.
no.
Show you inflation.
This isn't the inflatable
Oh,
helmet.
then I wasn't listening the first time.
I just figured Jarron was
You're
growing his
shocked.
hair out to make his own helmet.
That's the yeah.
You put enough hairspray in,
Exactly.
and you believe in
Spray that
yourself.
thing up, man. You're set.
Oh, all right. Let's see.
I didn't get to
did we
report
answer
on
the
mine.
question? Did we answer the email?
he just wanted an update on the Mate X.
Oh
Haven't got it
yeah,
yet.
we'll definitely be like reviewing the bikes and updating when they come out. But yeah, it's going to be a few more months.
But he said his question is, I've been considering an e-bike, and he's looking at local retailers versus that. So he's wondering if you got it for review. So when we do,
Yeah,
You'll be
there
the-
are actually a
probably
few
the second
reviews.
to know.
There's a few reviews out there I've seen on YouTube, and it made me very happy.
Yes,
they
they're
were
all
very stoked on the bike. So
Crazy
Cool.
of it.
yeah. All right, now we'll get to some news here, and like I said earlier, we're going to start off with the saddest news of all.
Our Patreon subscriber.
No, we already did that. Nvidia has put out a bad driver.
Uh-oh.
Dang it, Nvidia.
Did I install this?
Maybe. Driver 430.39 has been shown to increase CPU usage by 10 to 20% for no apparent reason.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Well,
not
that's a
good.
feature.
Oh, I know
good.
why.
That's not
They're
good.
tapping into the crypto market. They're using that.
That's what it is.
That's what
Yeah.
they're doing.
On the plus side, as of the 26th of April, they say they have been able to successfully replicate the issue, and they're going to have a patch out soon for it. So
Lesson is never update.
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like 90% of the time it's fine, and this goes with like almost all manufacturers. 90% of the time updates are fine. 10% of the time you get screwed.
Did you roll to them?
I haven't installed this one yet.
Yeah. I always wait.
When
I
did
always
it
wait
come
at
out?
like 6 months or so.
6 months. They
Yeah.
update their drivers like every 6 weeks.
Nope. 6 months.
No, it's like every 2 or 3 weeks.
It's more
Do
frequent.
they do that for game optimization
Yes.
more? Oh, okay.
So they usually end up updating almost every time a big AAA game comes out, and so through parts of the year that's very frequent. For other parts of the year, it's not as often.
Yeah, can I just say I've been waiting years for NVIDIA to have a slip up. In terms of slip ups, this isn't a huge one, but
No, it's
can I
not
just
that
say how
big.
excited I am that finally
Hey.
Tony's beloved has
I told you
had an issue.
I told you in our DMs that if
Yeah.
Nvidia takes a dump on something, I'll call them out on it.
You just hate NVIDIA because Apple uses AMD.
That is, yeah, maybe.
They used Nvidia for a little bit.
Well, wait.
They did.
Speaking of that, when am I going to get like the not like the notification every time I boot up Premiere? Have they announced like anything about that?
I don't know.
I guess I could Google that.
We should preface the Apple talk a little bit. Rob works at Apple.
I do. Yep.
Yep.
He's almost high-fived Tim Cook.
Almost.
Which
Inches
makes him the most famous person I've ever sat 3 feet from. Ever. Which is pretty cool.
So what do you do at Apple?
Nothing exciting. Well, I mean, it's exciting if you're into operations. I do operations.
Oh,
so I think it's
okay.
exciting. But when I explain it to people, they're just like, meh.
Like, you don't work on the phones?
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah, you're not in the design studio with Johnny. Whatever.
Cool, but you still get sometimes a sneak peek onto some of the newer stuff. Not that you're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
but
Whoa. You work there. Have you been? So you get to go into the donut. You get
that's
to
the
go
thing.
in-
He
I work
works there every day. He
That's-
works in the
that's
spaceship.
My home office.
You get to go into the
I work in Apple
spaceship.
Park.
You've been on the inside.
I have. Yeah.
What does it look like?
What does it look like?
Yeah.
A giant donut.
Did they sacrifice people in there?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, cool.
What about
underground.
People? What about people running into glass doors? Did they actually have to put?
There
up
were a lot of
signs
reports of that initially.
Okay.
So yeah, I
Did
was
you
one of
see
the-
signs that they put up to stop?
They don't
people?
have signs. They put up little like markers all over the glass. When I was the first team that moved in there, and when I first moved in, there were no markers. It was just clean glass.
And blood
Dry
on the
erase
floor.
markers? Somebody
No,
just
but
writes.
so when I
Don't
first
run
moved in there,
into
it was just pure glass. You couldn't really tell where the walls were, so people were just kind of walking around with their hand, like six.
Are you serious?
Seriously,
It's like nobody
in
wanted
front
to
of their
hit.
face because
Awesome.
you couldn't see the glass is completely transparent. So after I guess there were some incidents, so they ended up putting these little black stickers like every 8 inches apart, all the way across the glass.
Oh,
so
to
you
kind
can,
of
about
give
at
it-
eye level, so you can tell where the glass
Like
is.
a
yeah.
accent
Oh,
wall
man,
on the
that's
wall.
fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't want a broken nose today.
Yeah, seriously.
Is everyone blind that works here?
That would actually be really cool.
Well, cool. All right, so let's see what else we got. This was pretty big news, and it is as unlegitimate as it sounds. It is actually legitimate. The PS5, PlayStation 5 specs have kind of been announced. Jarron,
They basically confirmed
They-
high level stuff.
yeah, they
right?
gave you high level stuff. They didn't give you any of the nitty gritty though.
They
Yeah.
talked about which versions of processors and GPUs they're going to use, which tells you quite a bit.
Yeah,
So they're going to be using the next generation Zen processor from AMD,
Zen 2.
Zen 2, which
AMD.
they should be announcing. AMD should be announcing in a month or two.
Yeah, probably within the next 6 weeks.
So that right there is awesome news because the PS4 and Xbox One have horribly slow processors in them that really weren't much faster than PlayStation 3.
Yeah, it's true. They were the systems. The current gen had a huge upgrade as far as GPU and RAM goes, but the CPU upgrade was minimal.
So this is going to be a huge leap in CPU. So
And this is the kind of stuff that should allow for faster frame rates easier, because the biggest bottleneck for frame rates that the current gens have is draw calls to the CPU because the CPU is too slow to push that many frames back to the GPU. You know.
It'll also allow like more NPCs on the screen at
Yep.
once, more just general objects on the screen.
Yes.
So that's probably the coolest thing right there, in my opinion. In addition to that, they confirmed that they'll be using the next gen Navi GPU that's being made by AMD.
Which I have a little bit of news on that.
Go for it.
I forgot to put it in the notes, or did I? Yeah, I did. It's been basically confirmed by people that have been digging through the drivers for the test drivers for that it is just another revision of AMD's GCN architecture. It's not new architecture like everyone was hoping for.
It will be on 7-nanometer process.
It will, but we're still talking about architecture that came out 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, so...
Kind of disappointing. If you
rumors
ask
are
me.
that it'll probably be performant similar to the Vega 56.
Yeah. Which is still good.
Yeah, it's still good. So you'll probably be around 10, 11 teraflops.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of where I was 4 years ago. I was listening to Sugar Cult.
Love that band.
I bought a classic iPod. I finished my 151 original Pokemon card collection.
You
off
bought a
eBay.
classic iPod 4 years ago?
Yeah, on eBay.
This is James, remember?
Did you not?
No, I did not.
Well, good priorities, man.
All right, well. So let's see, what else did they mention?
The second coolest thing, in my opinion, is it will have an SSD. And not just
Yeah.
any SSD. They're claiming it's going to be like a next-gen SSD. It'll probably use PCI Express 4,
Wow.
Anyway, they're claiming that something that normally loaded in like 15 seconds or so took less than 1 second.
It was fast traveling in the Spider-Man game. Usually takes 18 seconds from one side of the city to the other, loaded in 0.8 seconds. Yeah.
That's a huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
jump. Yeah.
That's a quality of life upgrade.
Seriously.
Big time.
And this makes me excited because on PC, games are targeted for consoles, and so the load times are similar to consoles.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is confirmed or not, but if they're going to actually be using an actual SSD speed and they build it into their game, will it improve load time on PC too?
It's possible. Here's the thing with consoles being as close to PCs architecture-wise as they are right now. There's an old saying that I'm probably going to butcher, but the saying, I believe, is something along the lines of high tide raises all the boats.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens with developers is they develop first usually with console in mind because it has the largest install base and it's usually the lowest barrier of entry cost-wise for the consumer.
Makes the most money.
Makes the most money, yeah. And so they develop with console first most of the time and then port things over to PC and try to make it better for the higher-end PCs with the extra resources. And so if you have your consoles all of a sudden much higher quality, it means the low baseline is a lot higher, so they can improve from there as the baseline.
Yeah, and another thing they talked about, that they said that they will support ray tracing, but this one is a mystery.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it will be hardware supported ray tracing, but we don't know.
I'd say it's even less likely now that we're pretty sure it's GCN architecture.
You think it's just the hype train? They're just like, oh, it'll do ray tracing.
I think it's a little bit of that, but there's also a few ways, as Crytek has shown, to get ray tracing using software.
Which used the Vega 56 in their demo.
Exactly.
And it was able to put out 4K ray tracing at 30 frames per second, which is probably a spec that they're developing to on a next-gen console, I would imagine.
Yep.
So all in all, it's looking to be pretty good. I mean, it's kind of what you would expect. It sounds good, but not too good, if you know what I mean.
Because if it sounded too good, then you'd have to imagine the price would be exorbitant.
Yeah.
At this rate, I'm betting it comes out at $500.
Probably.
I'm betting $5. Even though the PS4 came out at $400, I'm betting $5 for this one.
Oh, yeah.
The CPU and the storage speed sound amazing. The GPU, there's a lot of GPUs out right now that are much faster than what the PlayStation 5 will have.
You do get, though, lower level API performance with consoles.
It's true.
You don't have as much OS overhead or other programs running in the background, so that makes up for some of the lack.
So as it stands, it'll probably be 9 to 10 times faster than the original PlayStation 4, probably 2 to 3 times faster than the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
Probably.
Does anyone else just confused as to the timing of this announcement? It seemed like it came out of nowhere.
Oh, it totally did,
Yeah.
because Sony's not coming to E3.
And they said it's not going to be released in the next year also.
Yeah, they know, or at least they assume, just like everyone else does, that Xbox is going to throw down big at E3 and announce the new systems, and they want to have something for the public to chew on as well.
Speaking of which, how do you guys feel about that? PlayStation doing their own thing. I mean, I don't see them as
I
Nintendo.
think
I don't
it's
think
just
the
this-
Treehouse thing will work for
It's
them.
just this year, I think.
You think?
They don't have anything to talk about at E3 right now. All of their games are either out or have been announced. All their exclusives. They don't have any new hardware that they want to detail any more than they already have.
So is it just going to turn into like a Google Hangout?
It won't be anything.
It'll just be a bunch of people being like,
It's probably just going to be a
Wow.
few trailers of games that we already know is coming out.
It'll be like a comic convention, but where people only dress up as PlayStation.
They'll
they're
probably
not-
show a little bit of Last of Us Part 2 more.
They're not having a meeting or anything. It's just going to be a keynote. That's all they're having.
But what about the meeting at the keynote,
So it'll be like a keynote for any other tech company, for Apple or
where people get together?
Google. Yeah.
Just called the meeting.
Nobody's going to
And then
dress
people are
up
gonna dress up.
like Comic-Con. It's not like
I
Comic-Con.
mean, they'll be
James.
dressed, most likely.
They'll have clothes on.
People dress up when they go to the Apple keynote.
Do they?
They
Do
dress
they,
up.
Rob?
I've never been to one. I can't say.
Figure that out for us.
People wear black
Check back
turtlenecks
in.
there.
That's your homework.
Okay, next time I'll try to sneak in.
A few more things about the PlayStation 5. They'll have 3D audio, but what that entails is not too clear yet.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think people's sound setups will be too great to even notice the difference. So that's my opinion. They will have backwards compatibility for PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
really good news.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It's weird that that's not like a standard.
Sony
know
kind
what
of
I mean?
makes their bread and butter on that, though. They've done backwards compatibility on most of their systems.
Well,
right?
up until the PS4.
Well,
Would
because
they not-
PS3 would be really hard to support
Yeah.
due to the cell processor.
Right.
So they didn't do any backwards compatibility on PS4 except unless you wanted to subscribe to their cloud service.
And then you could repurchase the games or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Since they're sticking with x86 architecture, makes backwards compatibility pretty easy. So those who skipped the PlayStation 4 generation, which is, I don't know.
Not very many people.
Not many people.
Me.
Two
Oh,
guys.
Maybe I'll get a PlayStation 5.
2/5 of our table.
Then I can take part in
did you ever have
God
a
of War.
PlayStation 4?
No, I still remember
yeah.
the one day.
well.
So I didn't purchase the new consoles until the day Destiny, the first Destiny, came out, or as I refer to it as the abusive ex-boyfriend.
Girlfriend.
Sure. I sat in my living room with my head in my hands, just thinking like, do I do PlayStation or do I do Xbox? Like I truly had no idea which one to do, and I chose Xbox. So I did not do PlayStation.
All right.
You
Well,
chose
I guess
incorrectly.
only 2/5 of us bought PlayStation. All right.
Well, we bought 4 of them between the two of
That's
us.
true.
So
Oh my gosh.
Ugh. We have a problem.
just a slight one.
Yeah, so that's exciting. But like Jarron said, not this year, probably next year, 2020. Are you still recording? I want you to
Yeah,
keep an eye
no,
on that.
yeah, I'm seeing it right there. It doesn't stop.
Okay.
Yeah, I see right
good.
there.
All right. Let's see.
If I get grow lights, Owen, talking about that, what we were talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
earlier. If I get grow lights and I just have the they come in like the fluorescent bulb tubes.
They're
thing.
LEDs.
Yeah. And if I just plug them into my existing one that I have over my desk, could I, in a sense, turn those into grow lights or into a growing lab at my desk at work?
These ones come with their own power cord and everything. What are you
Oh,
talking
you don't have
about?
to plug them in anything.
I checked the Slack, and you just put a bunch of pictures of snakes in there to trick me to go in there. I'm not going back into Slack.
We were trying to get your phone to show notifications. James'
Snakes
phone.
was the only way. Don't
Did
you
you
understand?
actually put product in there for me to look at?
Scroll up.
I don't want to scroll up. That means I got to scroll past.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Anyway, grow lights. You can get them.
I got questions.
Owen put a really interesting article that I read about as well earlier. I think I read the same exact one from Ars about the high stakes ROM heist.
Right? Oh
this is
man,
interesting.
This is like, I mean, there's a lot of people that are outraged by this,
which
So-
is funny because
So there's a market for arcade cabinets that is like this collector. These
Yeah.
collectors,
Like
that,
the original arcade cabinets.
Yeah,
right?
but
Not
like-
these new ones that
but
they
these
sell
are
at
there's some rare
Walmart.
ones. Just like in anything you collect, there's some rare finds. One of them is this Akka Arrh Atari game. It's a console cabinet, and there was only 3 ever made. And there's a big to do between the original arcade cabinet collectors, the guys that get them, play them, have the ROMs,
Yeah.
and then the MAME community that who knows what MAME stands for? It's a
multiple arcade machine emulator.
That's the one. Anyway,
So those are the arcades that play a whole bunch of different games.
in order to get the ROMs off the cabinets, you got to upload them.
Yeah.
Right. Those ROMs are on like actual ROMs. You have to
Chips.
You have to chips. And the thing is about the thing that the main supporters say is that those ROMs are way past their ability to maintain data.
Yeah.
So they're getting to the point where they're not like a gemstone or something that always keeps its integrity. Just like a CD, even if you kept a CD or a disc, like a floppy disk, like in the dark or whatever, it still has a degradation lifespan.
And has a half-life?
Yeah. And so anyway, the main people are like, we should preserve these ROMs, but then the cabinet hardcore people are like, but that devalues
The collectors.
the collectors. That says that devalues the game because
Now anyone can play it.
now anybody can play it, anybody
Lame.
can have it, right? Well, anyway, so there's a guy. He has this Akka Arrh.
Did you see what that
Atari
actually
game.
stands for?
Like,
Yeah,
is
some-
this Pitch Perfect or something?
What?
No, not acapella.
No.
Akka Arrh.
Akka Arrh. I don't. It stands for. It was some weird anomaly for the game writer's name or something like.
It was just an acronym.
An
that
acronym.
It stood for
another.
also known. Oh man, I had it here for a second. It's stupid. It is
Also,
just
also
stupid.
another Hadley or something like
Yeah.
that. Also known as another Ralston Halley.
Yeah, because
Who is-
Ralston Halley was the guy that programmed it.
Right, which doesn't actually, if you put those together, it doesn't actually spell
No, there's too many K's.
Akka Arrh or RH. Anyway, it's a messed up acronym.
Maybe it
They even say that.
stands
They
for
say it's
something else.
they say that the title is supposedly a mangled initialism for.
Wait. If it's
Awesome.
an acronym, wouldn't you be saying AKKA
Yeah, so it's an initialism.
Initialism.
Owen.
There you go.
Owen.
What?
Never mind.
Okay. Anyway,
Ars Technica.
Ars Technica.
Oh, ARS.
No, it's ours. I looked it up. I did quite a bit of research. You guys were right after all. I mean,
No duh.
anyway, so this guy that has them
This
is
guy,
claiming that the story is on the kind of the accusation in the community is that a tech was called in to service a cabinet collection,
Right.
to have something fixed, and that tech broke into the Akka Arrh console, took the ROM chips out, which is not an easy feat. Had to have and then copied them and uploaded them.
And you have to have special hardware to copy
Hardware,
those
all
ROM
sorts
chips.
of special stuff to interface with those chips to
Yeah.
get the ROMs copied. The short story is, if you want to play Akka Arrh, you can now on MAME. It's out there. They got the ROMs. They're out in the wild. But the collector, and it says who the guy's name is, but he's basically all
probably
over
some guy named Reginald.
all over the internet,
He's angry.
accusing. And I mean, the far more likely scenario is that somebody just uploaded them. I mean,
Well, I mean, where else would they've gotten the ROM from?
yeah, there's only 3 cabinets.
There's only 3 cabinets in
and
existence.
two of them were owned by the same guy for a long time. It's
Yeah.
Could they have just looked up like videos of this game being played and then
like-
recreated the
like
game?
with puppets on popsicle sticks and stuff? Probably. They probably could have done that and had
I
better resolution.
know you were just messing with me, but like, is that a real possibility?
I
Could
don't
they have
think
done
so.
it with Popsicle?
No,
Okay.
I don't think
No.
so. No, James, no.
No, James.
Anyway, the main community is firing back, saying basically, heist or no, the most likely scenario is that one of these collectors finally just
Uploaded it.
uploaded it, like
And
because
they
you
don't-
can call
yeah.
anybody in to have them come pull a ROM off there,
Right.
And if it's authorized, there is no law against.
But they don't want anyone to know that they uploaded it because it'll make the other
There's
guys
only
angry.
3 of them in the world, so
It's got to be one of these 3
the
guys.
suspect pool is so small. So of course they're saying, "Oh no, it was a heist," which sounds way cooler.
It does.
I mean, that's way cooler.
That's what got my attention.
Some guy was like, "Look, that's it. I'm going in. I'm getting these ROMs. You can't have." There's a bunch more out there. They actually said some of the collectors. There's a cabinet for the military training game out there, and like that there was only one ever made. So there's some other really rare ROMs out or cabinets out there that have never been pulled over to MAME or have the ROMs copied over, but which is sad because, like we're saying, those ROMs have a shelf life
lifespan,
of just physical media integrity. So anyway, I thought it was a really cool story, and like if it is a heist and it was like somebody did that, that's pretty cool. Also illegal. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Everyone,
but it's still pretty cool.
everyone that supports MAME is basically pulling an Indiana Jones right here.
Yeah.
That belongs in a museum.
Yeah.
You know.
Just a matter of time till they sell the movie rights to this story.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll see the movie on
I watched
Netflix in the next 10 years.
For sure.
So, or maybe on Apple's streaming
Maybe.
service.
If they get Tom Cruise to come in and rappel down.
Yeah,
He
you'll
comes
watch
down on a
anything
zip
with him.
line. Tom, you don't need to do that. Yeah, but I want to. I need to impress my wife.
That's actually the picture they put on the
Yeah,
Classic.
on the icon for the article.
it was indeed. Let's see.
I have questions.
Oh,
you need to answer my questions.
Okay.
James has some questions.
A new segment. It's called James Has Questions.
Yeah, is that what it's really called? Because I came up with a couple of names. We could call it "Let Me Google That For You." Explain it to me like I'm 5. Things I should know, but at this point I'm too afraid to ask. Or TLDR.
Well, those are all just copies of things that are already out there.
I
Okay.
like James Has Questions.
I think
Yeah.
all those apply. All of those are under the umbrella of James Has Questions. Every
Yes,
single one of
it's
those
true.
fall under there.
Name James has questions. Okay. Okay, this is a judgment-free zone, Owen.
Who
said that?
I won't even make eye contact. I'll just look at Tony and Jarron and
All right, let's. You
I'd
get
be the one that'd be judging. Not
two
Owen.
questions today. 2 questions.
All right.
We'll do
all
one
right.
now
You
and
don't,
one in a
You
little
don't want
bit.
to feel smart right now?
Well, we got a lot of stories to go over too.
Fine.
Maybe 3. We'll see how it
What's
goes.
the difference between mesh internet and normal Wi-Fi?
Well, mesh internet actually uses Wi-Fi. Usually, it basically has multiple Wi-Fi devices that connect wirelessly to expand your network over a larger
What's the difference
area.
between me just using
Like a net.
like just my Wi-Fi router downstairs and then just getting an extender upstairs?
It's very different. The mesh Wi-Fi, they use a different band that's faster between the base station and the other access point. Otherwise, if you just get a normal extender, it'll just use the Wi-Fi network to extend the network. So you're kind of slowing things down if you just get
It does a lot of smart tracking too. Like
Yeah.
if you get close to one AP, the other one will boot you off and put you on one closer.
Yeah,
Like it keeps your. It's designed to
What's
keep
an
your
AP?
access point.
access point.
Wireless access point.
Why would it boot me off a different access point?
Because you're
Because it
farther
was-
away from it.
It knows where are the stronger signals coming from. Oh, you're closer to this one, so attached to that.
Is it 2.5 an access point?
It's a
Gigahertz?
That's a number.
2.4 gigahertz.
2.4 gigahertz. That's an access point.
That's a,
No, that's the
Some access
frequency.
points use that frequency.
Yes. Higher
You're-
What's the correlation between an access point and frequency?
What? An access point will broadcast on a frequency. But a lot of smart devices nowadays will automatically switch
Most.
to a stronger network if it detects it.
So like most of your access points have like for your Wyze cameras, right? Or for a lot of your smart devices,
Yes,
they
use
require
2.4.
they have to have 2.4. Most Wi-Fi access points at this point have they check that, and so you don't have to create. You used to have to create one network ID called Tony's house 5G, right,
Yeah.
for 5 gigahertz, and Tony's house 2.4, and you had that way, and then you had to connect between the two. With the new recent Wi-Fi access points, you just connect to one SSID or the one ID, the network name, and it automatically goes O. It bounces
Just
you
chooses
down
for you.
But with mesh, you're looking at the idea that you've got access points like one up in your bedroom, and you've got one over by the garage, and you've got one down your family room. And if you've ever had a dead spot in your house, you know what this feels like when you're like, dang it. Like, for me, I use Plex on my phone a lot. And my driveway's a dead spot. And so if I'm listening to Plex or watching a video and I walk outside, it tries to flip between because I have weak signal. If I got an AP, right, an access point that was over there, and I had mesh, it would say, oh, you're farther away from this one than this one. Let's connect you to this one to give you a stronger signal. Mesh is designed to keep your signal strong no matter where
How
you go.
often do you go to your driveway to watch TV?
I go in and out a lot of
Well, how many kids do you
from
have
my
in your
house. I have 4 kids.
There we go.
So the driveway is your domain.
Yeah, that's where I get to live. Basically, I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
It's a flat surface.
This driveway, I am king.
You know what? I don't have a lot of
gotta have your
privilege, but
space.
this
Yeah.
garage and this driveway.
That's your space.
Whenever I walk in and out of my house, normally, like I do a lot of audiobooks, and so it flips back and forth right there.
And there's different kinds of mesh. You can get wireless mesh, which is what they're talking about, but there's also mesh that you can get that uses wired connections. And so, because that's how a lot of businesses
Yeah.
are set up.
A lot of the wireless ones will have an option to wire them as well.
Yeah.
So I just got the Orbi for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
And it has that option. So you can either use it as a wireless satellite.
I saw that at Costco.
Yeah, they're great. I love it. It's the best wire.
I hear
Wi-Fi
they're
I've ever had.
amazing if you have like a multi-tiered house.
Yeah, I just have like a small apartment, so it's way overkill. But I can be like down the block, and I'm still getting a great signal.
That
But
means
yeah,
I just need
you
to go
have
down
Sell
the
that.
block and
Yeah.
Sell that internet access.
start. Yeah, all my neighbors. We all live so close to each other. You could probably get like 10
That
people.
means I did.
It's called Rob-Fi.
that means I just have to sit down the block and just hack the Wi-Fi from there.
I thought San Francisco gave away free Wi-Fi.
They might. I don't know.
Oh, wait, do you not live in?
I live in San Jose.
Jose.
I don't know
Yeah.
where that is.
It's not the sand, close enough.
It's good.
For
It's
you,
better
James,
that way.
You were right on.
Yep. Sacramento.
Well, now you know more about mesh Wi-Fi. Mesh is designed for uptime, like for to maintain connection.
Yeah, better coverage, stronger signal,
Yeah,
things
I
like
think of
that.
it kind of like your cell service, right? Like they work by like once you add the range from one tower,
See, that makes sense.
quickly transfers to the other
You
tower.
guys need to give me
Basically-
clear examples like that.
So as I'm walking like from one side of my apartment to the other, like I'll start on the main router, and by the time I'm over the other side of the house has a stronger signal
Like a
on
different
the
cell
satellite.
tower.
Yeah, so it just snaps you over to that one.
That's
guys-
like a mesh.
Yeah,
when
and
you
it's
told
just
me this,
seamless.
you
And
raised
that's-
so many questions. Like
That's
what
the big
an
thing,
AP
right?
is.
Because it's mesh, it's just seamless. You don't even know what's happening. It just hands you off, and you don't know. You just have better
James.
Wi-Fi.
Okay, does that exhaust all my questions, or do I get another one?
You get another one later.
Oh,
Robert wins for giving the best explanation.
That was a very like we overcomplicated
We
that
did.
being network engineers. We're like, well,
It's like,
here's
let me tell you about
2.4 gigahertz.
out in the weeds.
It's like a cell phone network. Oh,
Speaking of weeds, the meatless Whopper is going national.
it's going! I cannot believe this.
So apparently, most people can't even tell a difference between the meatless Whopper, which uses
I don't believe it.
what is it? Beyond what's
Impossible?
Impossible,
Impossible
yeah.
Burger, yeah.
Impossible Burger 2.0
Yep.
is what
I've heard really good things about it. So I have a lot of friends
Yeah.
at work who are vegan,
I've
and
had
they swear
Beyond-
by this thing.
I've
They say
had
it
Beyond
tastes-
Meat, and I was not impressed.
Oh, okay, that's the bad one.
Yeah,
That's the
I've
one
heard,
with Carl-
I've heard the same.
Carl's
I've heard
Jr.
Impossible Burger is so much better.
Carl's Jr. is
Carner-
Beyond
It
Meat.
actually
They've got
like
the Beyond-
bleeds.
yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
looks like beef.
Yeah, so I mean, if they ever make it to Utah, I'm definitely going to give it a try.
What if it actually is beef? You know that.
They just been lying to everyone.
This is
those
just
Theranos
better off
of
Ted
beef.
coming. This is better off Ted coming to fruition for me again. Every time we talk about the
Viridian
yeah,
Dynamics.
I'm just like I
Name
can't
it, you
believe
don't
that
want-
this was a thing.
Blobby.
Yeah, so that's kind of neat. They tried it out in St. Louis first, which St. Louis is a big meat city, and they figure if it can make it in St. Louis, it'll do.
I wonder what the
We'll do it anywhere.
scalability of that is. Like, because you have to imagine, like, our cattle consumption for beef production is insane. It's
crazy
in the
high,
US.
yeah.
Not only just for the cost and the land to raise them, but
And the
like
carbon footprint.
The carbon footprint is huge. The methane they produce is like it's measurable, which is a lot
You
for
got
one.
it.
And but like it, so I'm wondering like. Could this scale, this impossible meat or these fake meat vegan
Yeah.
burgers?
They seem
could
to think it can.
can they scale within cost? Because we will, as a society, will always be like, well, it's $4 cheaper for
That's true.
actual beef. So I like the environment, but I really
Yeah.
like cheaper food.
I wonder what the carbon footprint is with that compared to normal beef.
Yeah, I would love to see what that is.
For beef
Because
is pretty bad though.
Oh, beef is terrible.
Yeah.
We don't know what this is because we don't work in the industry.
True.
But as far as the what's it called? Impossible Burger.
you Impossible Burger people out there and Beyond Meat people, if you have any inside statistics, let us know.
I have a friend also. A side note that is vegan, and him and his wife ran a vegan restaurant actually for a while, and they tried the new meatless tacos at Del Taco. Have you seen the signs for those?
I have.
And they said it's really good at Del Taco.
I have an answer.
You do?
89% smaller carbon footprint than
That is significant.
Really? At scale? At scale. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
That
Because
scale would be even better.
they need
Yeah, it would
they
just
need
go up.
millions of pounds of this meat. I'm wondering how they would create that much.
This is
I'm
the
excited.
future.
I'm excited for it. All right, Jarron, tell us about a bit of your childhood coming to our neck of the woods later this year with the Genesis Mini.
Are you going to talk about Arkansas?
Huh? What do you know about that? Tell me. Who told you? Anyway, there's a Genesis Mini, and they will have 40 games. They've announced around 20 of the games so far. And I wasn't too excited about it.
Hold on. I don't know the games. I didn't see it. But if Mortal Kombat's not on there, it's a waste. At least 2 different versions of Sonic the Hedgehog. And
I think you're going to want to pick this up.
I don't know.
Anyway, so it's releasing in September
Jeez.
for $80.
I don't know.
Anyway,
The software developer M2, who does good emulation, they're in charge of it. So it's going to be a good device, but the games that they're putting out is quite good. I wasn't very
Earthworm
interested.
Jim, yes.
I know. I wasn't interested until I saw some of the games here. Earthworm Jim, great game. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, classic. Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse.
I didn't play that.
That game was awesome. I had it
Was
growing
it?
up, and yeah,
Sounds hard.
it was my childhood. Not that, but a combination of all of this. Contra Hard Cop, Streets of Rage 2, awesome. Thunder Force 3, Super Fantasy Zone, Shinobi 3, Landstalker, Sonic the Hedgehog, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania, Bloodlines, Space Harrier 2, Dr. Robotnik's Meme.
You forgot Shining Force.
Shining Force, Toe Jam and Earl, which I'm excited for that. Altered Beast, Gunstar Heroes, which is classic, and Comic Zone.
Altered Beast was so hard,
Oh, what a good game.
It
but
wasn't
so
hard.
fun.
Yeah.
I beat that so many times. What you talking about?
Well, I didn't have a Genesis, so I only got to play it when I went over to your house.
Yeah, okay.
Rise from your grave.
I only played the arcade version of that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I actually already pre-ordered one.
How much did you say they're going to be?
$80. It's actually not that bad. I
How-
mean,
how
they
much
wanted
were the
$100 for
Nintendo
the
ones?
PlayStation. 80.
What's the
The
draw of
PlayStation
this?
one was terrible.
What's the draw of doing the minis like this versus just using a MAME emulator?
To say you have one.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
for collectibles.
Legality as well.
Collectibles and legalities.
It's also easy. You have this
Quality-
one box that does what it says it does, and you don't have to do anything with it.
As long quality is a good question. If the quality is good, then it's worth it. PlayStation, the PlayStation Mini quality was a poopy.
Right, yeah.
I just
and
wish
so-
they would release wireless controllers with this, because the wired controllers just doesn't work today.
You gotta do the wired, man. You gotta know where you came from. You gotta respect the past.
My
Ball
family
and chain,
rooms-
baby.
My family rooms do not support wired controllers.
You
Well,
wait.
that's how it
Your
was.
kid is too young, and you've never had one yank it off the
Oh,
TV
yeah.
top or whatever you've got it on and go, "I'll kill you."
It's
I
like
will-
me when I was a kid.
I will be incredibly surprised if 8-Bit Do does not make wireless.
They will,
controllers
but
for
it just increases the cost.
Yeah, it does.
It's not $80. It's actually 120 because you have to buy 2 wireless controllers.
You don't have to.
You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
But it's looking good. Unlike the failed PlayStation Classic, I'm excited for
What a
this.
turd! They were selling those for like $30
They're
last
giving
month,
them away
and
now.
now they're giving them away free when you buy a PlayStation 4. Please just take these.
We don't want to store these.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a fire hazard in our warehouse.
Yep. All right. So, Owen, tell us about speaking of crappy tech that gets thrown away. A new life for old tech.
Yeah, bumper cars. So bumper cars.
What?
Yeah.
How does this play into anything?
So they're-
Hold up. Can I buy a bumper car?
You can ride a bumper car. Have you remember what that's like?
I
It's
do.
old, right?
Yeah, it reminds me of neck injury.
I never fit in them.
and you always wonder, what is that going to come down and shock me? Am I going to die?
Oh yeah, the sparks.
You know, the
man.
sparks. Well, there's one of the new features is augmented reality, right? So there is
That's terrifying.
bumper cars that now you can drive in that you put on a headset and it turns it into a steampunk AR environment. So now you're driving around with you're essentially blind. I mean, you're not seeing the real world
You're
anymore.
seeing what they want you to see.
Yeah, and you can now drive around as steampunk bumper cars.
That was a cat, right?
I don't like yeah, like there's no way because you don't know, right? You've got audio on, your eyes are so if somebody falls out, you could actually run over a real person.
Why don't they just make the bumper cars look steampunk from the outside?
That's too hard. That's
Hush
not
yourself,
cheap.
Jarron.
They
too
can't
practical.
they can't do that because now they can throw tons of different skins on there. You can have like a My Little Pony bumper car.
Okay, wait a minute though. How is this? Oh, the old tech is the bumper cars.
It's a bumper car.
Okay.
The new tech is the AR,
I
right?
see.
You can do a Mario Kart. You could do
In my brain, I thought it was somehow involved with giving old tech to them so they could make these into bumper cars.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
Turning bumper cars into reskinning them virtually, right? So you can have the same crappy, horrible, death-inducing experience, but
With-
now you can do it in steampunk gear.
That's right.
Hey, if there's
And-
blood and semen on the bumper car, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You don't even need. They don't even need to wash it anymore.
Or a green shell. Your hand comes up sticky.
Like they don't have to worry about cleaning up puke anymore. Anything. They just put you in, and there's like it's part of the game.
It's
So
the
now
important
you-
you put on the VR goggles before you
I was
see
gonna
the
say.
actual bumper car in real life.
So with these VR goggles, if they're not awesome, you can end up with whiplash and nauseous
Yeah.
from the
And
VR.
possibly head lice. From the,
So many things. So many
This
things.
is a great idea, Owen.
You can only go. You can. So far, it's in one place. It's in Germany. And
Everything
I
hurts.
I can't. Somebody who speaks German here. Anybody?
Heinz Fitzgotteban.
Okay, that's good. I want you to. It's Erlebnispark Schloss Thurn.
yeah.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Hold on, I'm opening it up.
It's
But
in
you-
Nuremberg.
It's we know how to say Nuremberg.
Nuremberg.
Yeah.
But Erlebnispark Schloss Thurn.
Erlebnisnik.
Yeah. Anyway,
Schloss
it's the only place right now.
Thurn.
The Germans are way ahead of their time.
Nine.
They're so industrious that they're reusing. They're like, we can't let all these bumper cars go to waste. Let's reskin them
We
virtually.
must save our precious bumper cars.
They're just going to waste in a whole new way.
That was like kind of Swedish.
These are a national treasure.
It's closer. Actually, yeah.
Say chocolate.
Chocolate.
The
See?
lead-up.
Boom. I can do impressions.
But like now
It's
they
going
can,
on the
now they
LinkedIn.
can have
Oh
you
my
drive
God.
on any terrain though. Like they can have you run a track. Like wouldn't that be cool to see like a bunch of people in bumper cars, which is like an open
Off-roading.
forum, going in like a figure eight because they're following.
The
a
only
virtual
way
track.
this would be cool is
Yeah, I
if
could
they
see that, I
modded
guess.
it for Mario Kart.
I don't think I've
Then
ever,
I would be
I would
in.
do it for Mario Kart.
I would be in.
I don't think
on
I've
stage
ever
for that.
woken
at
up.
half a mile an hour. There's no
It's still a
bumper-
lot faster.
What
with the
bumper
goggles
cars
on your
did
head.
you go to?
The ones that are like.
They go like 5 to
the
10.
ones were a lot faster.
Oh,
I
than
don't think I've
that.
ever woken up in the morning and been like, this day will not be complete unless I see a bumper car with a roll
True,
cage.
true. Have you? If you go to the, I guess that's true. I went to the one in Lagoon, and they are not Lagoon here in Utah, and I got in a wreck. Some
Well, yeah, it's a bumper car.
some idiot stopped on the track on a blind turn, and I hit her going full speed.
Oh, jeez.
You
wasn't
weren't
great.
related to her, were you?
No,
Okay, good.
no. But anyway,
Were you wearing
that would
VR
be fun.
goggles?
No VR goggles, but
Did
that
she
would be
get electrocuted
fantastic.
when she fell down?
No, these were gas powered carts, so it's kind of like a
Oh,
go
fast
kart.
ones. Yeah.
More of a go kart than bumper
Yeah.
kart. I think that's where they should do this. Is with go karts.
No way.
That'd be way
That would
better.
be so scary.
You are asking for trouble, right?
Then you
there.
really could do Mario Kart.
Mario Kart for real.
On Rainbow Road, raise the stakes.
Just saying. So yeah, now you can go to Germany in Nuremberg, and it's been open since mid-April or so, and go slowly
I've been to
drive
Germany.
around in a VR coaster.
The place is awesome.
Anyway,
Lots of people.
All right, real quick, there has been a firmware update to the Switch, firmware 8.0, that has actually been shown to speed the Switch up.
does it fix the network?
It allows for
Does it add compatibility with when you're online, just having people have gamer tags and not a 10-digit code?
no. But
Does
it is
it
pretty
make-
cool because it allows for some basically ramping up quick OC of the CPU when loading games. And so in several games that have had an update after this firmware, the loading times have been cut in half or less with this new firmware. So that's pretty
so
cool.
loading times are improved,
Like,
but
give
they're
me-
not really focusing on the things that are broken.
Give me like
No.
an example of like what was a game that you played on the Switch that had long loading times?
So the example given in this...
Because I know like Stardew Valley, when I played that in between days, it took forever, but I heard that they fixed that in the game. A long
So
time
the
ago.
example given in this article was like loading a save file in Zelda went from 31 seconds to 21 seconds.
That is 10 seconds.
Going fast travel in Zelda went from 19 seconds to 11
I
seconds.
did not know you could fast travel in that game.
Yeah, from tower to tower.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh,
I thought you
jeez.
unlocked it to see what the stuff is. I just walked around all over the place.
No
You're
wonder.
telling me now that I could fast travel the entire time?
Yeah.
What's going to be next? Fast traveling in The Witcher? I
Yeah, you can do that.
What?
And then entering a shrine went from 10 seconds to 7 seconds. So just kind of a quality of life improvement.
Like a
That's
30%
pretty cool.
improvement.
Yeah, up to 50 in some of them. Almost 50.
I
I
like
like
faster
it.
loading times. That's
Yeah,
nice.
I'm a big fan of that.
I still haven't opened up that game since I stopped playing it 3 months after it came out.
Zelda?
Yeah.
And neither have I.
I beat it, so...
I almost beat it.
Did you though? You got everything.
Yeah, I got
Every
I took my
single
time on the
thing.
Oh no, like the
Okay.
shrines? No.
Okay, then
I
you did
got
beat it.
the majority of the shrines, probably over 3/4, and then I beat
You
3
beat Ganondorf?
of the shrines. No, the temples.
Guardians.
Guardians. With just kind of taking my time going through them, appreciating everything, exploring stuff, and then on the 4th one, I felt myself getting to that cliff of like I'm gonna stop playing this soon, so I
Better
rushed
beat
the
it.
4th one. The desert one was the one that I did last, and yeah, went and beat Ganon.
Once I got the Master Sword, I kind of lost desire to play it. Because I was mostly specced out, and there was nothing left to do.
That's
Other
when you
than-
just go plow through the Guardians and finish it.
No,
Or you
I
just
didn't
go
wanna
straight for
help
Ganon.
people. I just wanted it for myself.
Why didn't you just
Fair
go
enough.
straight for Ganon?
I tried. And I almost beat him, but then I lost interest. I had 2 temples left.
Womp womp. Rob, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about?
I think there's a lot of stuff on here. One of them was
What's the next iPhone that's coming out?
iPhone 11.
What about the iPad?
iPad 11.
What about the Apple Car?
Where are the
Are you allowed to
skeleton-
talk about the Apple Car?
I'm not disclosed to
What about
talk
Apple
about
Internet?
anything. Yeah.
Oh.
We don't want him to lose his job.
Where
I
are
like
they-
my job at Apple, so I have to be very careful.
Yeah,
what
I
say.
can't-
Everything I say, I'm
need-
putting a filter on to make sure it's like, is this
I
is this
need-
public? Can I say this?
I need you to high five Tim Cook so that you can actually be the person I know
Okay,
that is high
I'll
five.
work on that this year.
Yeah, no joke. If you could say that too, oh my gosh,
Owen?
Yeah.
doesn't even matter. I don't even care.
Owen says, "What's up?"
Yeah, and high five, and he'll just be like, okay.
Where's my hand sanitizer?
Yeah, well,
I'll work on it. Yeah, but one of the ones that I wanted to talk about, it's already on the show notes, is the Galaxy Fold.
Oh, yeah, we definitely got to talk
Fold it.
about that. Wah, wah,
Seriously.
wah.
Did you see that GIF that I sent you guys of like that dude,
just like,
kind of
flickering
half
it,
opening it and stuff?
just flickered.
It's sad.
It's crazy. Samsung says they spent 7 years developing this phone.
They could have used a week, maybe.
And
Yeah.
and within a day of reviewers having it, everyone realized this isn't ready.
Seriously, this has got to be the biggest nightmare for those poor PR guys.
Oh, yeah.
at
Oh,
Samsung.
publicly, it's just a train wreck.
Yeah.
So that to tell the listeners what happened, the screen broke on multiple reviewers' units.
Within a day or two.
Yeah, within a day or two. So
Was this the finished, or was this like
No,
a beta?
No,
These were like
these
production
were the
units.
review
Yeah.
units
Yeah.
sent out.
One way in which it broke, the inside screen that folds in on itself, it has this plastic protective cover on it, but it looks like a screen protector, the kind that come with brand new phones and you peel it off, you know. But there was...
Turns out it's not.
Yeah, you're not supposed to peel it off.
But people did.
If you peel it off, it will ruin the phone, and it doesn't tell you anywhere not to peel it off.
Well, okay, it didn't say on the reviewers units, but on the screenshot I saw of one of the T-Mobile
Just the T-Mobile ones.
units, it had a warning on
Yeah.
it.
So that broke the screen. Another issue the screen had was the hinge on the back. It's not protected against the elements, so dust and debris can get into the
Yep.
hinge in the back, insert itself underneath the screen, and
Push up against the OLED.
push up against the screen, and it'll break the screen at that point.
Yeah,
Once you
iFixit
open it.
did a thing where they took it apart and they actually show like them putting like something in between. There's actually a gap, like a millimeter gap
Yeah.
between
All
like
kinds
the
of pocket
screen
debris
and the
could get
hinge.
in there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's really easy for stuff to
There's
get
so
in
much
there.
room for
Keys.
activities in there.
Knives.
Yeah, so like I guess dust was
Chapstick.
getting in there and like was like creating little bumps under the screen,
Yep.
and then over a couple of days of that, they just stopped working.
No good.
Yeah, and
Don't take it to the sand dunes.
when you open the phone, there's a visible crease on it, which is not the greatest.
Everyone knew that going into it, though.
Well, Samsung said that there wouldn't be.
They did?
Yeah.
Ah, foolish.
Yeah.
Foolish
So,
Samsung.
There was a pre-production unit that showed a crease, and Samsung was like, "That's a pre-production unit.
Yeah.
We solved this problem."
And now they have so much stock. You know they've got stock of this
Oh,
phone. that they're
thousands
just
of
like-
these things.
And they just pulled it, right? They just were
Yeah.
like,
Well,
"We're not
they've
selling
they've
this now."
put the
Yeah.
launch on
It's on hold indefinitely.
hold.
Yeah.
That means they pulled it.
What are they going
More
to do
than
with it
likely.
now?
Who knows?
They're going to make a smart boat out of them. They're going to
Seriously.
fold the tablets out to make a boat.
That's what they need to do.
This
Yeah.
is going to end up just like the Note 7, where
Yeah.
they recall it and just end up with a warehouse full of units.
Just bury it with the
They
ET
got to find a way to
cartridges.
I wonder if they can find a way to recycle that. Like they've got to like the processors or screens or something.
I would
I don't
hope
know.
so. But
Crazy.
most of all of those, at least every phone I've taken apart, the CPU is soldered onto
Yeah,
the little
right. The
board.
board.
So I mean, they'd have to go through and desolder every CPU and every RAM chip to try and reuse those parts. It'd be tough.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if the other foldable phones that have been announced are going to have similar issues, or
Well, definitely, if you ask me, the
Yeah.
Huawei one, where the screen's on the outside.
I thought it was Xiaomi.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I thought it was Huawei.
Okay, it's one of those.
They're all quietly
But the,
backing away.
the
Like,
screen, yeah, that's the thing. The screen's on the outside, and if there's
Yeah.
problems with the screen being on the inside,
serious.
it's got to be even worse.
Yeah,
to
but
make
then-
it, to
Well,
make
it doesn't fold as tightly though if it's on the outside, because if it's on
Right.
the inside,
It
it's
wraps
like
around the back.
folding in on itself completely. If it's
Right.
on the outside, it's just kind of stretched.
Yeah,
along
but
the
you're
outside
still
hinge.
talking about a plastic screen.
Yeah.
You put that in your pocket with anything else in there that bashes against that plastic screen. Game over.
Yeah, that's
Game
true.
over.
And another problem with the screen on the Samsung was it was very soft, so something would nick it, and it would
Score it.
little nick stayed in the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the jury's out on what Huawei's will do.
so the next logical step is to make pants with no pockets.
Obvious.
That's where society's headed, right?
Well, it's already headed in
Fix
that
the
direction.
problem. Fix the problem. They're like, look, we can't afford. We have to sell these phones. We have so many.
We will sell pants.
Let's
with no
make
pockets.
a pants company with no pockets.
I mean, they're already basically doing that for women's pants.
Sweatpants. Yeah, yoga
true.
pants.
But what will they call it, Owen? What will they call it?
No pockets.
Sold.
Corning is working on foldable glass.
I saw,
Probably
yeah.
a few years. I would wait until they have glass. For
Agreed.
Yeah, but now that this came out, just think of all the engineers that were getting their necks breathed down by their CEOs that said, you know what
Yeah.
you need to do
And
now.
now they can say, look what happened to Samsung.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just seems like Samsung was so eager to be first to market
Oh,
on
they
this
were, for
one
sure.
that they just, ignored some things that obviously should have been taken care of well before
Yeah.
it got to the point where
they
they're
were
about to
popping
release it.
champagne bottles.
You cannot tell me that the R&D guys and the testers didn't have problems like this before they put it out in the
Somebody
wild.
had to
Come
say.
on.
Hey, side note, talk to Tim Cook for me about taking away the headphone jack and causing that whole thing. Like causing that whole thing across the industry.
Yeah, making me
Anyway.
owe
Oh, and you
somebody
lack
$50.
bravery.
I have an out. I have a in. He can go in the donut now. I'm sure that Tim Cook's probably there sometimes too.
I don't think the phone you use has a headphone
He
jack.
does
it?
too. The
Oh,
Pixel
it was
XL.
Pixel 2 switched to the no
Yeah,
headphone
I
Do
jack.
you know where his office is?
I don't actually.
Nobody
They
did.
probably
Yeah.
just they probably just move it around
Is
for
it
security
underground?
reasons.
No idea.
Is it in a
That-
smaller
that's-
donut?
If I was
He's
him,
definitely in Apple Park. I just don't know which section.
if
he's
I
in.
was him, it would be an office that was on rails and could move
That would be
around
awesome.
the donut.
Could like come up through the grass in the park area and just be like a glass box.
No,
Like,
that's just stupid.
Like a smaller Apple store.
yeah.
Yeah, I do see him fairly regularly though.
It'd be like the room
he
of
eats at
requirement.
the cafeteria where I eat.
Seriously,
Yeah.
does everyone like give him wide berth?
No, actually, he has his table. That he always sits at that table, and
Is it a
people
different
just
color table?
no, just
Is it made out of recycled Apple tables? from
all the
stores?
tables look exactly like the ones in the stores.
Oh.
You should
Oh, really?
Yeah.
you should come up with an audio cue and insert it into his brain like Costanza, and to get him to like you.
That might work.
Yeah.
I could try that.
And then high five him in my name.
It's so like so I work for a company where our headquarters is on the East Coast, and the mentality employees and employers have on the East Coast versus the West Coast is so different. On the West Coast, a lot of the time the CEOs and stuff are somewhat approachable.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But man, like on the East Coast, the CEO is God. Nobody talks to the
Yep.
CEO besides the other VPs and the COO.
A lot of times they'll have like their own elevator. It's
Yep.
their private elevator, so
You
they don't have
vanish
to
into the
talk
walls.
with the common
Yep.
folks.
If they come
Seriously.
by.
And the
You have to go
administrative
through like
assistant.
3 different levels before you can.
Exactly, but like on the West Coast, like like you said, Tim Cook eats in the same cafeteria.
Yep.
And like the CEO where I work, if I wanted to talk to him, I could set up an appointment and talk to him real easy. It's just really different the culture.
Yep.
I had
between
lunch
the
with
East
my
Coast
CEO
and
the
West
other day.
Coast.
He's a cool guy. He's got a mustache.
Whoa, you must be important.
He's got a mustache.
Yep.
Let's see. I also wanted to mention the Mad Box. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mad Box.
it failed when they announced it.
You did.
That's
And now we have more proof. So they applied for the trademark Mad Box, and
This
actually
was that company that decided they were going to jump in.
they're going to make their own console.
Yeah, okay.
It's a company that make Project Cars.
Yeah, so they already make games, but they decided we're going to make our own hardware, and we're going to compete with Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, that's possible. Making games, making a console that plays the games is the exact same thing.
they're
And
doing
so-
it. We can do it. It's just like making an app.
Who do they
They
think
got-
they are? Google?
They got pushed back because there's a French casual games company called Madbox, and they filed an opposition to Slightly Mad's Madbox trademark on March 25th of this year. And today, the Slightly Mad announced that they're canceling their trademark
For Madbox.
application for Madbox.
They're going to
Mainly because
rebrand it,
my-
or are they going to dump? Are they going to?
No, listen to this. Further in the article, it says basically what this means for Slightly Mad's Madbox name isn't clear at this point. Interesting to note might be that earlier this month, CEO Ian Bell took to Twitter to announce that 2 Madbox investors backed off following some statements that Google made recently concerning Google Stadia. Now, we all know about Stadia, Google's cloud gaming platform.
That does not exist.
And he says further, so we called our console Box, Bell wrote. Google announced that the future of gaming isn't in a box. Investors have gotten a bit shy. That one quote has done our plans some serious harm. 2 investors have pulled out. We're looking at about $1.2 billion here.
Ooh.
So, yes, interesting.
I just wanted.
he went like this. I'm so glad they had that patent. Because now he can just be like, yeah, dang.
Oh, sorry, guys. Someone already has the name.
Darn it. Now we're just going to scrap the whole thing because it
Rats.
didn't work out.
Mad Boxes, it's done. If
So,
it,
the alarm bells to me here are the investors. They
That's what I want to know about.
they thought it was okay investing in this company who knows nothing about hardware.
developing hardware.
The thing that made him back out was that Google said that the future of gaming isn't a box. That was the thing that made them back out.
This sounds like an episode of Silicon Valley.
I love it.
But yeah, can you believe that?
Hold on, was there signature on the box?
Yeah, Gavin. But yeah, so you can basically consider Madbox, in my opinion, probably in our collective opinions, DOA.
So would you call it an
Vaporware.
Xbox then?
Eh,
They're going to go for
Nixbox.
the Y box because it's one letter better. So anyway, yeah, that was interesting there. Not surprising at all whatsoever. Also, real quick, I have a report about cloning an NVMe SSD. Have you guys ever done this?
I've been curious about it, but I've never done it.
So Uncle Squinky came over this last weekend, and he bought a 1 terabyte SSD for his laptop. He had a 256 boot drive in there that was NVMe, and we ended up replacing it with a 1 terabyte. And it's actually ridiculously easy. You buy an external case for NVMe, which you can get now, that uses like USB-C or 3.1 USB-A. Install the old drive in there, and then if your SSD is worth anything when you bought it, it'll usually come with its own cloning software. This one had a license for Acronis, and I've
Yeah.
never used Acronis before, but
That's my cloning
it's
drive.
easy.
Yeah,
Holy
super easy.
cow! Basically, you make a USB boot drive with Acronis, and then take the old SSD out, put it in the external drive you bought, install your new one into the laptop, boot to that USB drive, tell it to clone it. It's done in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I use Acronis for all of my cloning. I have Acronis. I have a boot drive with Acronis on there. Like I think it's Acronis 11.5. It's still pretty compatible with USB 3, I think, and it works great for all type of drives.
Yeah.
I was wondering, is NVMe harder to clone
Nope.
than others?
It was actually faster. It's the
Right.
fastest clone I've ever seen because it's NVMe over USB-C,
Yeah.
and so you have 10 gigabit connection
And
to
Acronis,
that.
Acronis loads up
exclosure.
Acronis loads up. It's a version of Linux when it comes up, or Unix. I can't remember. It's an operating system that's
Yeah.
not, and it's it's outside of the OS that you're on.
Exactly.
And then it just sees those as drives. It just
Yep.
creates a locked file, and then you just go to restore it. You create your clone, then you drop it back on. Oh, you can clone directly in Acronis.
So we cloned directly.
Right, yeah.
There was the option though to back up and then restore.
Yeah, I usually use the backup and restore method so that I can.
But man, I was amazed. It was easy once we had the hardware swapped out and made the USB drive. We were literally done in less than 10 minutes, and the clone was perfect. It booted up first try.
Right.
Windows was still even authenticated on the new
I wonder
drive.
how that would work if it was like a bit locked drive. Like, did he have encryption turned on?
No,
Did you have it turned
no
on?
encryption.
Okay.
So
I'm betting you would probably have to turn off BitLocker or decrypt the drive before you attempted to clone if you're using BitLocker in Windows.
I would think so, but that's a good question. All right, James, you want another question?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, let me pick one.
James has questions.
What's a rubber ducky USB and how does it work?
A rubber ducky
A
USB?
rubber ducky. I watched it on Mr. Robot. What's a rubber ducky?
What season? First season?
No, I don't remember. They all blend together.
Because I only know about the USB stuff they did on that one in the first season where she dropped a bunch in the parking lot.
Nope, not that one.
Okay. I don't know what a rubber ducky USB is. You guys?
No, never heard of it.
It says something about it like it copies all the cache like
Oh,
passwords.
it's a
in computer.
keylogger. It's just a keylogger.
Oh.
Building a USB rubber ducky for $7. In case you do not know what a rubber ducky is,
Why
it
did
is
you
a
look at me when
device
you said
created by
that?
Hack5. It looks and behaves like a flash drive, but it can be programmed to execute keystrokes very quickly. So it keylogs, but it also can execute
Execute commands.
through like keystrokes through the.
So I just plug it in.
kind of like
get all
a
the passwords.
you get them, but also you can enter in data too. So you can.
Ooh, that
it's
sounds.
a other way.
That could be nasty.
Yeah. So say you're logged into your bank, they could send keystrokes to your computer to transfer your money away from you, or like your Bitcoin wallet or whatever.
Well, that's not worth anything, so it doesn't matter.
So can I get one of those on the internet?
Hey, I have 5.5 Ethereum right now.
Ooh.
And it's taken a long time to get there, but my machine's still chugging away.
They're yours.
They
You'll
haven't
never give them up.
They haven't come off the rails yet. The fan bearings haven't died out, even though those fans are running at full tilt almost. Just
Nice.
Anyway.
Very
Rubber ducky.
cool.
It's a hacking tool, and you should make one. It says build a USB ducky for $7.
No, I'm afraid that somebody's going to reverse hack me, though.
Rubber ducky for
I wouldn't build
$7.
one. Nope. All right. One more thing I want to hit on this article that James put on about this new gaming phone.
Me? I did not put that on
Oh,
there.
I put that on there.
I
It
I
says
put-
James's new phone.
It says James' new phone because it's Red Magic 3 gaming phone, but it
Yeah, that's
records
not gonna
not.
happen.
It's
it
not.
records an 8K video.
It's
and so I thought
not
it
red.
was-
It's not
That's
red.
not red. It's not
The
the, red
camera.
company. They're calling it the Red Magic 3, but it's
Oh.
not by the company
It's by
Red.
Nubia.
It's by Nubia.
A Chinese
Um,
manufacturer.
Yeah, but it shoots in 8K, and I thought,
You don't need a camera that shoots in 8K.
How worthless is that?
why?
The only reason why you shoot with that kind of like aspect ratio in 8K is so you can crop in.
So you can get
But
closer
like,
Basically,
you're
without
that
loss.
bad at shooting stuff where you need to crop in that much, and then on top of that, you got to take into account like, is everything going to be in focus in 8K? Probably not.
What about drone video then? Like if you were to hook that up to a drone and you're getting a really wide angle shot, you could save time without having to make multiple passes for the same.
You
Right.
still have to warp stabilize everything with the drone, depending on how stable your drone is.
But you
if
could
there's
get-
any kind of wind up there,
But you
you're-
could use the same shot to do a close angle as like a wide angle, right?
Yes,
'Cause
you could
zoom in.
shoehorn in 8K and do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, you'd have to make proxy files because I don't know any computer that if you have a bunch of 8K files and all your space is going to get filled up so fast. How big? What's the memory on the phone right now?
I don't know. It doesn't say, but it's got its own internal cooling fan. So
That's what I thought
That
was
was
kind of
weird.
cool about it. So it's got a fan that can spin up to 14,000 RPM.
So you can get your finger cut off.
So, can you imagine the centrifugal force in there? Like if you like wobbled it,
Can you imagine your wife's hair getting caught in your phone?
But it's tiny. I mean,
right?
it's so small that you
maybe-
probably wouldn't even notice.
so it happen all the time.
So if I'm gaming and I get a phone call and I put it up to my ear, am I just gonna hear the fan whirring?
And, and if it's a small fan, the smaller the diameter of the fan, the louder it is, right?
Usually they'll,
So
higher pitch. It says it's rated for 30,000 hours of continuous use. Yeah, that's up to debate. But what I did find interesting about this is it's still IP55 rated. So even with the fan, they're
still
somehow keeping it waterproof.
water resistant.
Yeah, water resistant.
How are
So
they getting air out without getting water in?
I don't know.
12 gigs of RAM, 250 gigs.
That's the
They
cool
just
stuff
put a
right
fan
there.
in there for
Storage.
fun.
So it's got the Snapdragon 855, 12 gigs of RAM, and 256 gigs of storage. 5,000 milliamp battery.
Big battery.
Yeah, that's a big battery. And the quick delivery charge, 27 watt compatible, QC 4.0. Anyway, I don't know much about cameras because I'm not that cool. That's a James and Jarron speciality. But I thought it was nifty that they had a mobile phone. I feel like that's the kind of the way that mobile phones are going and stuff like that. Like they're really starting to okay, let's get an actual
Yeah.
mobile phone.
One thing that you didn't mention too that is pretty cool is aside from 8K recording, they're claiming super slow motion mode of 1,920 frames per second.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What?
that's what they're saying.
How much is the phone? Did they come out with a price?
Yeah, they did. For the more expensive one, is only going to be like $500.
Wow, I was gonna say then that actually might
No,
be
I lied. 640.
Still,
But
for,
still for a
something
slow-mo
that
camera?
shoots like that.
They didn't specify the resolution running for 1,920 frames per second. So
Even still, I would have to assume that it's at least 1080 for them to come out and
no way,
talk about that.
no way. I'll bet it's like 480p. I bet you.
No.
Yeah.
On the 8K camera to shoot 1,000 frames per second.
Yeah, but they drop it down to like
I
640p,
don't know.
480p.
Then it wouldn't. Yeah, if that's the case, it's not worth it. But if it shoots 1080,
At that frame rate, it would be awesome.
well, and my other question too is like, how continuous can you do the?
Yeah,
like,
how
is
long-
it like
how
a
long will it
2-second
last?
burst?
Yeah, because that's the thing with like my Galaxy Note 9. I can record at 960 frames per second, but it's only for like 3 real world seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
First picture of Jim Carrey as Robotnik in the Sonic movie.
Oh my gosh! It looks like Jim Carrey
Looks
with
like
a
Jim
mustache.
Carrey, yeah.
Looks exactly like that.
That's
It looks like he's abandoned the Starship Enterprise and put goggles on his head.
I gotta say, he's way better looking than the render we've seen of Sonic for that movie.
That is a
Man,
nightmare.
that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Who's doing the
That's
voice
nightmare
of
fuel.
Sonic?
It doesn't matter at this point. He's so ugly that it won't matter. Ugh.
Gross.
All right. Anything else anyone want to hit on?
I want to go hit on
you.
Wendy at Wendy's.
You got a Wendy's addiction and RimWorld.
You got to get off my back.
You gonna watch? You gonna play some RimWorld while you're in line at Wendy's?
You might explode from pleasure.
Getting your
Do you want to
fix?
know a fun thing? Because my wife doesn't listen to this deep into the podcast. Last
Well, if she listens
week,
at all, she's ahead of most of our wives.
Last week,
My wife stopped.
I lived.
She did?
Why?
I don't know.
I guess we suck.
Hi, Mom. So I live right next to a steak center. I live like 2 houses away.
What kind of steak do they serve?
It's
Outback?
Outback.
Ah.
And I parked in the parking lot on my way home and played RimWorld for a half hour in that parking lot on my way home.
So your wife wouldn't know?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow,
We've all been
James,
there. I've been there.
You have a problem.
Yeah, I
It's-
do.
It's an addiction.
Yeah.
You need help.
100% it's an addiction.
150
yes.
hours.
Actually,
That's a lot of
let me
hours.
get you the exact count really quick.
I still don't know what this
Oh,
game
148
is.
hours.
That's on your phone.
I played it today.
No,
What?
that's on his computer.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's playing on his laptop.
so you pulled over, opened your laptop, and played RimWorld.
Took it out of my bag.
Okay, yeah, you got
Opened
a
my
problem.
laptop.
So you don't need an internet connection for that?
No, not for this.
I do the Steam saves, but no. I do
Cool.
not.
All right. Well, I think we're done. Rob, thanks for coming on,
Yeah,
man.
thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Very
thanks for
cool.
giving us the
Pleasure
inside
is
scoop
mine.
on Apple.
When are you coming back?
Christmas.
We got as much of an inside scoop that he could give us.
Yeah.
I didn't want to press the boundary.
We respect it. We
I
respect
love my
it.
job.
Still the
I
most
don't wanna get
famous
fired.
person I know.
Well, you know,
You know,
Yeah.
Tony. People
He's-
asking for his signature.
Yeah,
the coolest thing I've ever done is high five Sean Astin.
it's,
Come on,
he's
that's
never.
Samwise.
Sean Astin cannot go inside Apple Park.
You're
which
right.
I was.
I bet he could.
I've been rudely calling
He-
the donut this whole time. And I really
Sean
apologize.
Astin got into
It's
Mordor.
okay.
He can get into Apple Park, all right?
Yeah. Dude, the donut is shaped like a ring.
I don't want to call it the donut and then be like somehow banned from there because like he called it the donut.
No, you're
Apple
okay.
Park.
It's got a lot of nicknames. The
Oh, good.
spaceship.
Do you guys get a lot
mothership.
of bomb threats there?
Not that I know of.
Just a lot of blood.
I
on
don't
the,
know. I don't-
blood on the
Who
walls.
the heck would threaten Apple with a bomb?
Bomb
They
people?
wouldn't make it past security.
No way.
Yeah, it's
Besides, Apple makes good stuff. Why would you want to blow that up?
it's a pretty secure
Because
campus. I feel pretty safe there. And in fact, we had like a meeting like last week or the week before where they kind of showed some of the highlights of the structure. And one of the cool things about it is I didn't know this at the time, but the whole thing is actually on like these giant. They call them like ball bearings. They're not actually ball bearings. So in an earthquake,
Can it turn?
I don't think it can turn, but the entire building, if in an earthquake, the entire building just stays still while the earth moves around it.
Oh,
a
that's
lot-
cool.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of
Like a
data
hula
centers.
hoop.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of what a lot of data centers do that are equipped for like anti-flood and
pretty cool.
stuff do. Yeah. That's pretty
Interesting.
Cool. Big springs or big ball bearings. That's cool.
So you just go, you meander over to the window with
Yeah,
your hands in
so
your pockets and you're looking outside and
I've
everybody
been
losing their stuff.
I've been in the ring when there was a small earthquake, and we didn't know what was happening. Like you hear like the glass kind of rattle just a tiny bit, and we looked it up, and like it was a pretty sizable earthquake. But we could barely feel
Keeps
it.
the balls lubed up.
It's not really a ball. It's that's like the concept is like a ball bearing, but it's actually these giant like sheets of metal that kind of are on these like sliders. So
Yeah,
the
and you
thing-
don't
the thing
lube
kind
them
of
up.
pivot
You
around
get powder
360
of powder
degrees.
on them.
It's pretty wild.
I'm really surprised no one caught on my balls lubed up comment.
I ignored it
we all left
specifically.
it. Yeah, we all left it. We all got it, Jeremy.
I
Well
didn't
done.
even realize what I was saying until I said it.
Oh, please.
Touche.
Come on. All right. I think we're all done. Thanks for making it to the end. If you did. If you didn't, well, you're not hearing this anyway. So, Owen, why don't you take us out?
Hey, we hope you care.
Gadget Spot.